Did you know Raceroom is free? You have until the 18th of August to enjoy all of its fabulous, bountiful content. Did you know in Raceroom they've been releasing Super Tour content for like the past year, with the Alfa Romeo and Opel Vectra from 1995 being released in the last month? And did you know they are doing a championship featuring this glorious Super Tour content, and you can qualify for it? Okay, if you're as good as me, you're probably not going to make the 30 car grid, but we can try, damn it, to be part of the Raceroom Super Touring Championship as he held over the next 6 weeks. And as you can see as well, there's like a month for each leaderboard to try. I think there's like 2 weeks between races, so if you fail to get on this leaderboard, who cares? We can try for the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and finish like 278th in the leaderboards, who knows? But also with Raceroom being totally free, we're getting some new leaderboard challenges and competitions. So as you can see, we've got Watkins Glen in the older Formula Raceroom US, which is kind of based on IndyCar from a decade ago. We've got Formula Raceroom 90, which is their interpretation of the 1990 F1 cars around Interlagos. Of course, DTM 1995 around Suzuka. The WTCR, mate, Western Peace, driving around Donington with the 2018 cars. The Zonda R round Imola. The GT4 cars around the Nürburgring. GT3s at Interlagos. The KTM GTX at the Nordschleife, and then we've got the Mazda, we've got the DTM cars, we've got, I think that's the F4 cars, and we've got the classic cars from the 70s, the Group 4 cars, I believe. So these are the leaderboards. We've only got less than half a day to get on the Hockenheimring leaderboard, but we've also got Estoril, we've got a Vus, and a classic Silverstone. The leaderboard has been open for almost a month now. It's about to end. You don't have to be any esports driver or own the content to get started. The leaderboards are accessible for free with unlimited attempts, so there's plenty of time to practice and improve your times. Well, we've got like an hour to do this. But of course, at the top is Mr. Raceroom, Jack Keithley, with a 217.5 round Old Hockenheimring. This is the classic Grand Prix version. So as I said, the top 30 make it through, so we have to be 8/10 behind that time of 218.4 if we want to do that. We're probably not going to be doing that. Just to be in the top 100, you have to be under the 220 bar with a 219.7. But we're probably aim, what did I say at the beginning? Probably top 300. We could aim for that. So we've got to be under the 221.5 bar. That's around 4 seconds off the pace. And to home in on that target, look at this glorious selection of cars ahead of us. We've got the Volvo S40. Do you remember Rickard Waddell doing pretty well in the British Touring Car Championship 30 years? They've got the Volvo 850, as I said, the Opel Vectra, the Alfa Romeo. We've got the Audi A4, the BMW 320, the Honda Accord. I think I'll start with the Accord as well. I remember being fond of it growing up, particularly for a certain James Thompson driving it. Now in this competition as well, setup pretty damn limited with what you can do. It is basically just brake bias we can mess with. As you can see, nothing we can click on, nothing to adjust at the front or rear. Apart from this, brake pressure, which I normally run kind of like 90%, and then the brake bias, which we normally do like more towards the rear, but this is a front wheel drive car if I remember, so it probably needs actually a bit more at the front, especially around Old Hockenheim with these kind of heavy braking zones. And then steering knob, we're going to actually turn that down a bit, because normally in Raceroom we have to do that to make the cars actually go around corners, especially around Macau. So here we go then, getting control kind of in the middle of the penultimate corner. Just what you want, isn't it? But yeah, welcome to the glorious sounds and glorious feeling of driving a Super Tourer. As of course we went right at the first corner. Beautiful. But we're doing kind of kind of warm-up lap here. Just to set up that for us, just to see how the car feels, how we're going to do around old Hockenheimring, a circuit we don't really drive nowadays. Maybe 25 years ago we would have any old F1 games. How the hell do you know your braking point? Luckily they've got big old board markers there. But yeah, it always amazed me seeing the F1 races cars reaching, you know, speeds of like 220, even maybe 230 miles per hour. The likes of the BMW engines in the year 2001. Was it? I think that was the last year. Correct me if I'm wrong. Of the old Hockenheim. And then braking into these kind of braking points. That corner we've just gone through, the Ostkurve, if I remember chicane. Created sadly after the death of Patrick Depay in that corner while testing his Alfa Romeo back in 1980. That corner had, as you saw, ridiculous camber. So you could kind of brake a bit deeper into that corner. I remember always was a feature seeing the cars lock up going into there. But that first chicane braking from like 220, 230, sometimes in a toe as well. Getting down to, what's it, like 50, 60 miles per hour. Of course, you'd have the wall right up against us here in this version of the Hockenheimring as well. You've got a bit of space there on the outside, but it isn't like we're allowed to go over there. Of course, you've got the famous old stadium section here, looking as glorious as it ever did. But yeah, you had that kind of first and third chicanes were kind of similar, but that second chicane with the downhill braking, very, very difficult to get right. So warm-ups around the 230, not the greatest lap. Okay, I've got to stop going wide, I think. Right, here we go then. Let's just put a, you know, that time down. Not aim for that 221 or 220 yet. Just see what we can do first time round. Oh no, we survived the first corner. It's a freaking miracle. Holding the brake too long there, just testing out the braking. See how the car handles it. Testing out different gears through the corners as well. Third or fourth hit. The final corner got the power too early there. And we're not going to get that 221 yet, but we are going to get a 225. Alright, second attempt then. So we have moved the brake bias a couple clicks forward. It's now 54.46. See if we can be even more aggressive going into these chicanes, try and gain a bit more time. Looks like we gained a tenth at least in that first corner. So let's try and get into maybe the 24s, I guess, this time. Just be a bit more aggressive everywhere. Oh, come on! God damn it. We'll go to the end of that. We'll see what we'll do. Or not. We're like a quarter of an hour in. We've done one unofficial lap and one official lap. It's like old F1 qualifying, isn't it? When they had the old hour and 12 laps to qualify. Don't think I've nailed a braking zone this lap. Apart from the first quarter. There we go. Much better into the lap though. Gained over a second. So we're down to 24.5. Okay, so just, you know, 3 seconds off what we want to do. But this time we've moved the brake bias back to 52.48. We'll see if this improves anything for us. Maybe not judging by that first quarter, but we're still quicker. Okay, can't even touch the curbs. Jeez. Oh wow, massive improvement in this lap so far. Amazing what happens when you don't, you know, just wallop the curbs. This could be close to the 22s.
Just go straight through the 23s, straight to the 22s maybe. Oh, wide of the final corner. But it will be a low 23. Nice. Okay, so we've moved the brake bias again a click forward, but we've increased the pressure slightly to 92. We'll see if that is a bit better. Braking force and feel. Oh, much better first corner. Alright, slightly better final corner. So we get into the 22s. What is that? 22.7? Okay, okay. Alright, about halfway through our hour. We're like a second off what we want to be, so this is where the gains get a bit harder as well. Let's try and back up the first corner a bit. So again, we've pushed the brake bias a click forward to 53.47. We've also increased the brake pressure to 95%, so we'll see if this will help us in these heavy braking zones. If not, we'll put it back. We keep locking up. Let's test it. Okay, I guess you are meant to be flying. We've gained us. Oh, we're kind of even. I thought we were going to gain quite a lot there. Maybe not. Don't learn my lesson, did I? I'm not allowed to touch that curve. And I was saying that I've now just pushed it to 57.5, 42.5. So put it way to the front. Let's see if this actually feels better on the front. Ooh, a bit more turning. Oh, come on. Okay, it's the final quarter. This is where Schumacher and Hakkinen will start battling like madmen for pole. Let's see if we can find that second at least that we want. Or around the second gate. What's that? 21.7. And of course we scroll the next lap immediately again. Okay, we're in the 21s now. Just need to get that a bit lower.
Okay, we didn't quite get close to 217.5. We didn't even get close to breaking the 220s, but out of almost 1,500 players, in the end, we end up in 253rd with a 221 flat. There was a 220 in it. Man, if only we could improve by a couple of tenths, we could have been in that maybe top 200 mark there with a 220.6. But considering we only gave ourselves an hour, we'll take that. It went down from a 225 to a 221. So I hope you enjoyed our adventures in Raceroom. Definitely is a fantastic sim, and as I said, it is all free at the moment to check out. And all these leaderboards and competition challenges, they're normally free to enter anyway. So why not get some Raceroom in your life? But thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.